Hi, I'm Sarah Tyke, host of the Interested Reader podcast. Each week I'll bring you a short lesson in physics or astronomy, followed by a brief overview of what's happening out there in the universe. We'll also merge the wonders of science with the depths of spirit and discuss the metaphysical and spiritual aspects of our universe and ourselves. Come with me as we explore stars and souls, the intersection of science and spirit. Hi everyone. Welcome to episode 21 of the Interested Reader podcast. It's going to be pretty short. It's just a quick update about some changes that are coming. So I say this is the Interested Reader podcast, but that's what I want to talk to you about. It's going to get a new name, a new look, but it will be the same Interested Reader theme, feel, overall goal. I'm just trying to clean it up a little bit. So today's number, I have it for the 16th because that's probably when this will get finalized and uploaded. Would be tomorrow. Today's actually the September 15th, but tomorrow, when this actually gets published on the 16th, will be the number 7, which is in numerology known for seeking, questioning, researching, a need for deeper answers, not just some superficial, quick fix, quick answer. The number 7 really wants the deep dives, really wants to get to the bottom of things. It also has a strong spiritual and strong intuition, a spiritual connection. Anything spiritual is very important to a number 7. So while there is a lot of researching and intellectual component to the 7, there's also a deep spiritual component as well. And again, a reminder of how we get these numbers. It's this Pythagorean reduction. Just add up all the numbers in the date, or reduce it down until you get to 1 digit. This year's a number 9. I just do all this as a reminder in case we've got new people. I hope we have new people listening in. The number 9 signifies kind of a completion or the end of a cycle. It's also very concerned with kindness and working toward a higher good, a connection to inner wisdom and spirituality. So that is this year's numerology number. So first we've got our normal quote of the episode, quote of the day, if only these were daily. And this quote comes to us from 1 Peter 4:10. As each one has received a gift, minister it to one another as good stewards of the manifold grace of God. And this has been a very important topic to me lately when I think about what I'm trying to do with this podcast and with a business that I would eventually like to start, and really trying to be of service. That's my whole point here. Like, what good is it to have a business if I can't help somebody? So that's why I would really appreciate your guys' comments and questions, reaching out, anything that you've got, just to let me know how I can help you. How can I be of service? What do you need from me? And I'm always trying to figure out, what is this gift that God has given me? It's still a question. I'm not entirely sure I know, but I'm leaning toward this idea of teaching. If nothing else, I just love teaching. So maybe I'm not good at it, and maybe you can tell me that too. Although if you don't think I'm good at teaching, I hope you're not listening. I hope you found someone else who is and who speaks more directly to you. I wouldn't want you to be wasting your time, if I don't connect with you. But I would love to hear from you guys if there's something that I can do for you. So that's been what's on my heart lately. So that's why this quote kind of resonates with me. Really trying to find the gifts that God has given each of us and how can we use those to serve each other. So the good news, everyone, and if you didn't know, I am a huge, huge Futurama fan. So if you're not watching, we've got Professor Farnsworth on the screen. Love Futurama. Oh my gosh, I was so excited when it came out. I don't even know when. Was it like 2000, 2001-ish? I was still in college, undergrad, so I love Futurama. So anyways, the good news is that I've got this Interested Reader podcast, and right now it's just called The Interested Reader, Exploring Stars and Souls. And I've been kind of taking these free courses on podcasting. And of course, anytime anyone is talking about how to start a podcast, the first thing is make sure you have a good title. Make sure that it's clear. Make sure people know what it's about. In fact, one lady had even said, make sure it's not an inside joke or something. And if you've been following me, the interested reader, oh my gosh, the interested reader actually is sort of an inside joke because it's something that is said in the college physics textbooks that I used. So it actually, like, straight up is this inside joke. And to me, it's hilarious, but no one else knows that. Maybe a few people who use the same textbook that I do, or did. So right off the bat, it's kind of like, oh, geez, okay, so really no one knows what I'm talking about. So I add the tagline, Exploring Stars and Souls, and okay, that helps a little bit, but that still doesn't really capture what I'm trying to do. So over and over, I keep hearing the importance of the title and the tagline and making sure people can find you and that they know what you're about, that you've got keywords, that you're searchable. Because at the end of the day, I'm trying to reach people. And I can't help people, I can't do what I'm really trying to do if nobody knows what I'm talking about. I mean, they're just going to scroll through and like, what is this? Like, I don't even know. You got to get people's attention. And there's a certain group of people that I'm trying to reach, and that's people who want to learn physics and astronomy. Though with this current title, you can't really tell that that's what you're going to get here. So I've been thinking about it for a long time, and I've decided I really do need to change. I love this title. I love this name because it means something to me. When I first saw this in the books in college, I loved it. It was like this breath of fresh air. It was a little bit of humor, I thought, in these textbooks. And I loved it. But it's just not, I don't think, serving my purpose of communicating what I am trying to do here. So we are changing the name of the podcast to the Cosmic Classroom Podcast, making astronomy simple, meaningful, and fun. And again, it is hosted by me, Sarah Teich. So it's still going to be part of theinterestedreader.com. That's still going to be the website. The podcast is just going to have a different name and different logo, different look. So wherever you see the podcast, whether it's Spotify, YouTube, I don't know. I don't know if all the art gets uploaded at all the different places, because I'm also, I think, on Amazon Music, Apple. I'm going to try, I think, getting on Podbean. I had just about heard about it in this course I was taking. I'm also on Good Pods. I don't really check that one much. I don't know if the artwork gets uploaded to all these different places. For sure on YouTube it will be, because I put it there. Spotify. So hopefully with this title, the Cosmic Classroom Podcast, that's a little bit more clear as to what we're doing here. I'm trying to teach. I'm trying to make this essentially a virtual classroom where you guys can come and learn astronomy, mainly, in a simple, meaningful, and fun manner. So I think this much more encapsulates what we're trying to do here. So hopefully when people are looking like, where can I learn about astronomy? Then this is what will come up, and they'll be like, oh, this one right here. And it's much more grabbing, or attention grabbing. So I think this will work. I would love for you guys to comment on whether or not this is a good change, if this is appealing to you or not. I think it is. I like the graphics a little cleaner, I think, than the other one too. So, and I've also got the font that I'm using here. If you're listening, obviously you can't see it, but I've been working on an astronomy course. I started this a long time ago and I never finished it, and I just have put it aside for a while. But it uses the same sort of computer futuristic looking font. So it's going to tie together pretty nicely, I think. So this is the new podcast. The Interested Reader, again, still stays the same. The website will still be there with all the same articles on the electric universe and astronomy, physics, spirituality. All that's still going to be there. All the social media links and handles are all the same. It'll just be the podcast, whose name has changed, and the artwork for that. And then, so whenever you see the Interested Reader, it will just have the kind of a little bit different logo. What's on the screen now is the new version. I've just taken off the word podcast and the tagline. So if you're just looking around for the Interested Reader on Facebook, YouTube, wherever, it'll look like this. When you go to look for the podcast, it'll just have a different look to it, and it'll be called the Cosmic Classroom now. And I'm hoping that I will be including more teaching and more lessons in here, so it will be a little bit more of an actual learning experience. That's what I had started out to do with the podcast, was to teach math, physics, and astronomy. It just kind of got weird and difficult to do in what I thought to be like a professional manner. Yeah, because it's really hard to do equations without having a board to write on in person. And of course, people recommend the digital whiteboard where you can just write on the tablet and it comes up on the screen. And I tried something like that, but the writing is so terrible. It's just awful, and I would not subject you guys to that. So I just sort of gave up on this idea of teaching like actual equations in favor of more of just an explanation and exploratory discussion. And I'm thinking that's just not what I want to do. We'll have some of that, but I love teaching you guys. That's my craving. That's what I want to do. I want to write equations. I want to solve things. I want to work through problems with you guys. So I'm still not sure how I'm going to do that yet, because I still don't have the means to do equations yet. I might give the whole whiteboard thing another try. Maybe try some different applications. Maybe get a little bit better stylus or tablet or whatever it needs. I know a few people who are into this, so without you're completely breaking the bank on this. So I did a couple lessons where I just had the camera. What I'd really want to do is have like an overhead camera over my desk while I'm writing. So you guys basically just watch me, solve equations and solve problems. But it's hard to do with lighting, to get lighting bright enough without putting a glare on the whiteboard that I'm using. And I could just use a bunch of sheets of paper. I just didn't want to go through notebooks and reams of paper. I was hoping to just use a whiteboard so I can just erase it just like you would in a classroom. But trying to do that, I did not find a good way to get it without the glare on the board. So I've got a couple videos online. I think if you go to the YouTube site for The Interested Reader, there will be a few videos there, I think in the playlist Physics Explained. I think I've only got 2 on there now. And it's just, on the whiteboard, the glare from the light is almost, it's annoying, it's distracting. I think you can still see the work okay. And I would love it if you guys would want to torture yourselves and watch those videos and let me know what you think of it, at least for how I'm explaining things, the cadence. I can't do anything about my voice. I'm real sorry, guys. Like, I wish I could change it. I wish I had a better voice, but I don't. And I still love to do this anyway. So that I can't change, and I'm sorry. But if you were interested in, suffering a little, watch a couple of the Physics Explained videos on the Interested Reader YouTube, and let me know how terrible they are. Just be brutal. Just yell at me for it. I want to know. I don't have any real way to change it at the moment, but I would love to hear some feedback if you have ideas on how I can make this better. I'm really more interested in how I present the information. Like, is it super boring? Is it tolerable? Do you like it? Is it actually like, oh, that's cool, that's easy, now I get it? That's what I'm going for. That's the highest goal here, is to make it so that when someone watches a video of mine in math, physics, astronomy, whatever it is, that they're like at the end they're saying, oh, now I get it. So I'm working on it, and I really want to try to get back into that direction. So there might be a few rocky videos here and there where things aren't great, but I'm gonna have to just put it out there, and you guys, if you would just bear with me, please, and please comment, please let me know what you think, because right now I just kind of make these things like, oh, I guess it's fine. I mean, I know it isn't, but there's no real incentive to improve if I don't think anybody's actually listening or commenting or paying attention. So, but we'll just keep forging ahead. So that's the kind of the plan of where this is going. Just the new name. Oh yeah, and just one more thing. If you all are familiar with Columbo, that's the picture that's on the screen now. I love Columbo. And he was always like, just one more thing. Right at the end, when you thought he was gone for good, he just comes back. And there's just one more thing. The regular podcast episodes are going to resume in October. So this is September 15th today. And for the next couple weeks, I am going to be busy with a a side job that I've taken, and this is kind of what's prompted me into changing the podcast as well, because this job is creating math videos for third graders. So they're short 2 to 3 minute videos teaching basic math to third graders, and I love it. It is everything that I've wanted to do. It's teaching and it's making videos using fun little cute animations and graphics and all this. And I applied for the job a couple weeks ago. Really didn't think I was going to get it because I'm just using Canva to put things together, and I'm using my own voiceover. They'd given us a script to read for the application video, and I was sure that we were supposed to use AI for it to sound, I don't know, not like me. But I couldn't get an AI that actually sounded decent, not for free. And this was just an application. I'm like, there are going to be so many people applying that are professionals, but I'll throw my hat in the ring, whatever. But the only way I could get the audio was to just record myself. So I'm like, well, I'm just going to do it. And I didn't hear back from them. They said they'd be back. They're really responsive, and they got back to me very quick, like, oh, thanks for the submission. We'll get back to you by the end of the week. So I never heard from them. It was a few days later, like after the end of the week, like into the next week. And they're like, hey, great. When can you start? Here's the contract. I was like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't really ready to have to produce those videos because they expect them to take about an hour to produce this 2 to 3 minute video. And I can't do it. I can't do it in an hour. I've done, including the application video, I've done 4 so far. And they take 3 to 4 hours or sometimes longer. So as far as the pay goes, it's not great. But I just love it. I love doing the work. And it turns out that when we went to our onboarding meeting, the directors of the program had mentioned, basically just using Canva for these videos. So I was not out of line to think, or to use Canva. I thought it was going to be like really amateurish. No one was going to even have heard of it. No one's going to use that, of course. But it sounds like that's a fairly common thing. So that was good. And like I said, I really love doing the work. It takes way too long. Like I can't finish one of these videos in an hour. But the contract is, the project goes through the end of September, maybe a little bit into October, and I do plan on staying with them. And just, I don't care about the pay at this point. It's fun. It's really, like, I think it's good experience. It gives me the motivation to actually do something because these are videos. This is almost exactly what I was envisioning that I would do for myself, for this podcast, for a business, for my own business. I just never did it. I was kind of like, well, I guess someday I'll get around to it. And now I'm actually on contract, on hire to produce something. And a good something, too. It can't just be, crummy slipshod work. Like, they do edit it and send you, have you do revisions. Because they have a standard, obviously, to uphold. So, as long as they, keep me hired and are okay with me only producing one video a day, which I told them I could only do 2 to 3 hours a day. That's my only availability. I get up at 4 in the morning to work on this stuff, and whether it's my stuff or now for this project, between like 4 and 7 a.m. are my 3 hours a day before I start doing the family stuff. So at 4 and 5 hours per video, it's just, like I said, the pay isn't really there, but I like doing it. It's not about the pay at the moment. So I'm going to finish out the project. So that, like I said, will go through at least the end of September, so the next 2 weeks, and maybe even a week or 2 into October. So I probably won't start doing regular podcast episodes again until mid to late October. And then at the end of October, there's some family stuff going on. Obviously, we have Halloween, so that's a couple days. We have holiday time off of work in October, so I'll be out with the family for a few days here and there. And then, of course, we've got Thanksgiving coming up, and then Christmas. So, you know what? Let's just say regular podcast episodes to resume in January. No, I'm going to try to do at least I'll get at least one one a month, for October, November, December. So at least, come in and touch base a little bit. I know you guys are going to be busy too. I mean, you've got holidays, you've got all the stuff. And so I think the last thing you're going to probably want to do is, let me go and learn some physics here real quick. But the point is that my videos are supposed to be short and easy so that you could do that. If you're just like, I just need to get away from the family, I just need some time to go and learn some physics real quick, you can do it. So anyway, so I think that's all I got. So just a big thank you to you guys, to anyone who's listening. If you've been listening for a while, if you've just listened, I really, really appreciate it more than you know, and I'm going to probably start crying. Because I just really appreciate you guys, and I appreciate you sticking with me, and I hope that you will, continue to listen and just help me out through this, help me get better, help me to kind of make this vision that I have come true. So I really appreciate you guys. I thank you, and so I'm sorry. You can still follow me like in all the normal places, the Interested Reader, the website, the Facebook, all that stuff's still going to be there. It's just the name of the podcast is changing, and that's it. So thank you so much, guys. I love you, and have a good day. I'm really sorry. I'll talk to you guys in probably about a month or so. All right. Bye.